Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop, or should I say today, we're down in the dungeon. The last video we did, we took a pallet apart. Now I am down in the dungeon, and what we're going to do is take the 10 boards that we culled from that pallet and turn them into usable lumber. That's why we're in the dungeon. I don't know how many tools you can see in here, it's pretty dark, but I got my joiner out here, I have my planer. On the other side of the camera is a table saw. I actually have my radial arm saw over here too, and as we get to each tool, I'll show you them. I'll be moving the camera around, probably doing talkovers as I use each tool. But what I want to do is go through surfacing these boards on all four sides and actually clipping the two ends. So making a usable piece of lumber that we can bring back upstairs and build this cabinet we're talking about. So let's get going. The first stop is the joiner. Okay everybody, I'm just going to be out of view here, but we're going to start with the joiner first. The joiner actually does two of the four sides of this operation. The first side we're going to do is the edge of every board, and I'm just going to quickly run through all 10 boards doing that. You can watch. Going to get loud here now. I am probably going to voice over this. Hi guys. Alright, yeah, I'm going to do a voiceover here. That little screamer makes a lot of noise. So we're going to start by doing one edge, jointing one edge of each board. And as you can see, I'm just running it over at a fairly light cut. It's taken about 3 passes, as you'll see here, to do the one edge of each board. You can see the joiner's wobbling a little bit. I have a love-hate relationship with this joiner. It's a Delta 6-inch benchtop joiner. I don't know the actual model number off the top of my head. I'll link the information for every tool I'm using down below. The thing I love about it is 6 inches wide, and for a small shop, when you're building smaller projects, you know, the longest board I have here is 28 inches long. It's more than adequate to do a 28-inch long board, but it doesn't do longer boards very well. Alright everybody, welcome back. I'm just kind of sticking my head in here to talk for a minute. We've done the edges on all 10 boards. Now what we're going to do is the faces. The face being, you know, the big flat part. Again, I'm going to go back to running the machines with the volume off and letting you probably listen to me talk. Alright guys, here we go, starting on the face of the board. This will take the cups and twists out of the board. This little joiner can do it on these shorter boards, but it's not that powerful, so it struggles a little bit, so I take thin cuts. You can see here I'm struggling a little bit. This joiner would work fine if it was attached to the bench, but it's not, and it's trying to move on me, and that's why I'm struggling. Okay, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here. I'm showing you a different board now, and you can see some of the problems we have with pallets, and I'm going to point here in a second at a nail that I hit. I didn't get all the nails out. Biggest problem with pallet wood, guys, is it's crappy wood with nails in it. So now I have a little nick in my joiner blade. Hey everybody, next tool, real quick, lunchbox planer. What the planer will do is take what we did with the joiner and mirror it to the other side. So it doesn't flatten like the joiner does. What it does is it actually will mirror this side smooth on this side. So let's get this thing going. This one's really loud, so you're going to hear this for sure. There you have it. I don't know if you can see that with this light, but what we have is a nice smooth surface on both sides and one edge. The last step in this process, I'm going to have to turn you off, flip you around because the table saw is behind you. where we're going to finish an edge off. Alright everybody, welcome back again. I hate to do this crawling down all the time, but I want you to see the tools more than you see me. The last step in the 4 sides of this board is to put the side we edged with the joiner to the fence and rip this side clean. You can see here that the board is fairly clean. I got a little snipe here. I'm just losing too much material. I'm going to paint this, so I didn't want to take more cuts with the joiner because I don't want to lose any more material than what I've already cut off of this. So here we go, quick cut with the table saw. I have the 40 tooth, actually no, I have a plywood blade in here right now. That is the wrong blade. I'm going to turn this off and put a proper blade in the saw. Okay, like I was saying, we now have a proper rip blade on the saw. We're going to do the final 4th side here, which is to rip this rough edge off, putting this jointed edge to the fence. I've already set the fence, so actually with that new blade, the fence is a little off. I want to keep as much yield as I can on this board. That's good there. Get my push stick ready. There you can see, a proper rip blade takes the jointed edge on the fence and makes another perfect edge on this side. So now this board is finished 4 sides. I mentioned I have the radial arm saw back there. I am going to show you how I'm going to trim these to length with this board. This is the board that I had to cut some ends off where it was messed up. This board is too short for me to do anything with on this project, so I've kind of been using it to show you the process through here. So let's go over to the radial arm saw and we'll clip this thing down. Okay guys, last stop here. I don't think I'm even in frame and I don't care. This is my pride and joy. If I were to have to pick up shop and move across country and just decided every tool I own is just, you know, the Delta bandsaw, the DeWalt planer, that little crappy Delta joiner, even my Delta table saw, which I do like, I'd probably keep this. This I would figure out a way to pack up and move. And I know most of you have track saws and you know, compound miter saws these days, but I love this tool. This tool is very accurate, and I just love it. So let's clip the ends on this. Like I said, I'm just going to square these 2 ends up. This board might get used as a trim piece on this project, but it's too short to be one of our 4 ends, so it's the board I'm using for this process. So here we go. Made a test cut. I just want to verify we're square. And we are dead square. Now if I was using this in the project and I needed it to be a certain length, I would just have my line here and get my line lined up with the line in this fence and we'd be good. Because I'm not, I don't want to waste any length that I have to here, so I'm just going to trim this at the bare minimum to make it square, which is right there. And there you have it. We have a 6-sided square board ready for glue up and build.